Opening flashback, the basement's echo. We begin 2 years after Finney's escape. Police are investigating the grabber's basement. His mask, the black phone, and remnants of his crimes remain. A detective lingers behind, staring at the phone. It suddenly rings. Against his better judgment, he picks it up and hears faint children's whispers saying, "You can't bury him. He's still here." Terrified, the detective slams it down and leaves, but the camera lingers on the black phone, vibrating slightly with unseen energy. Cut to the early 1980s. A family moves into the neighborhood near the grabber's old house. The teenage daughter Lena is sharp, rebellious, and curious, while her younger brother Eddie is shy and imaginative. Their parents are distant, hoping the move will help Eddie make friends. Almost immediately, Lena notices how the locals still whisper about the murders and avoid talking about the grabber's house. Eddie becomes oddly drawn to the old property. We reintroduce Gwen, now 18, who still carries guilt and trauma from Finney's ordeal. Her psychic dreams have never fully left her. She has visions of masked figures and children crying. Gwen tries to live normally, but her reputation as the girl with visions lingers. She works at a diner, but keeps a journal of dreams, still trying to make sense of her psychic abilities. When Lena befriends Gwen, she realizes Gwen might know more about the strange energy around town. One night, Eddie sneaks into his basement when he hears a faint ringing. To his shock, the black phone from the grabber's basement is somehow there, cracked but intact. When he answers, a weak voice whispers his name before cutting out. He tells Lena, who dismisses it as his imagination, until the next night, when she too hears a muffled ringing echo through the vents. The town is shaken when Daniel, one of Eddie's classmates, disappears. The method mirrors the grabber's crimes. Last seen riding his bike at dusk, vanishing without a trace. Parents panic and rumors spread of a copycat killer. Lena notices Eddie acting strangely withdrawn, muttering about the phone. Gwen immediately feels dread, knowing this isn't coincidence. The phone now rings for Eddie almost nightly. The voices grow clearer, children begging, warning him, don't let him answer. Sometimes the voice isn't a child at all, but deep, distorted laughter. Eddie becomes frightened, but also drawn to the phone, compelled to answer each time. Lena starts to believe him when she overhears the phone ringing herself. Gwen experiences her most violent vision yet. She sees the grabber's broken mask floating in darkness, with blood dripping from the cracks. Dozens of children's hands reach from the shadows, pulling her down. She hears the phone ringing louder and louder until the sound shatters her dream. She wakes with a nosebleed and realizes the phone is not finished. It wants something more. Lena begins researching the house and discovers a disturbing history. The black phone existed before the grabber lived there. For decades, the property was tied to disappearances and strange accidents. Locals whisper that the phone holds voices and feeds on suffering. The grabber may have simply been its most notorious user, not its creator. This raises the chilling possibility that the phone itself is the true source of evil. Eddie answers again, but this time it's Bruce, the baseball player victim from the first film. Bruce warns Eddie that the grabber isn't gone. He's waiting in the line. Bruce explains the grabber's spirit is tethered to the phone, using it as a doorway. The spirits of the dead children are fighting to keep him trapped, but they are weakening. Police now suspect a new kidnapper is active. The town goes into lockdown, but Gwen and Lena uncover evidence pointing toward Mr. Harker, a quiet neighbor. He's begun muttering to himself, wandering late at night, and leaving his house with black dirt under his fingernails. Lena sneaks into his garage and hears faint ringing, though no phone is visible. She flees, shaken. Mr. Harker grows increasingly erratic. In one chilling scene, Lena and Gwen watch him standing motionless in his yard, staring at the grabber's old house. His lips move as if silently repeating something. Gwen recognizes the words as fragments she's heard in her visions. Ring. Answer. Take him. It's clear the grabber's spirit is trying to use Harker as a vessel. Eddie answers the phone again, but this time the spirits are desperate. They cry in unison, "Don't let him answer." If he answers, he's free. The implication is clear. If Harker picks up the phone, the grabber's spirit will fully possess him, allowing him to kill again. The dead children beg Eddie to help stop it, but Eddie doesn't know how. Gwen decides to confront her fears head-on. She enters the grabber's abandoned basement and touches the phone. Immediately, she's overwhelmed by visions of every child who ever died in the house. The grabber himself appears in her mind, his mask shattered, whispering, "I remember you, little girl. I'll take your brother next." Gwen collapses, bleeding from her ears. She now knows Eddie is the target. One night, Eddie is lured by the phone's call and vanishes. Lena finds his bedroom window open and the black phone lying on his bed, the cord stretching impossibly long into the darkness outside. She answers and hears Eddie sobbing on the other side, saying, "He has me. Please hurry." Then the grabber's voice cuts in, "You should have answered sooner." With Eddie gone, Gwen and Lena join forces. Gwen uses her visions to trace glimpses of Eddie's location, while Lena investigates Mr. Harker's property. They realize Eddie has been hidden in Harker's basement, where the black phone has replicated itself, feeding off Harker's possession. They decide to face the horror directly. They break into Harker's house and descend into the basement, which is transformed into a nightmarish reflection of the grabber's lair. The black phone is mounted on the wall, glowing faintly. Lena answers it, and for the first time, every dead child speaks together. "End this. Use us. We will help." Their combined voices shake the walls. The grabber's spirit materializes, half shadow, half man, wearing his cracked mask fused to his face. His body flickers between Harker's form and his original self. He advances on them, mocking Gwen, "Your visions brought you here. Now you'll see everything." He tries to force Eddie to take his place as the next vessel, whispering into his ear. In desperation, Gwen and Lena hold the phone together and call upon the children's spirits. Each child manifests briefly: Bruce, Griffin, Vance, and others, striking the grabber with their spectral presence. They weaken him, dragging his shadow form toward the phone. The grabber screams as he is pulled into the receiver, his voice distorting until silence falls. The phone shakes violently before shattering into hundreds of pieces. The children's spirits smile at Gwen and Lena one last time before fading peacefully into light. Eddie collapses but awakens unharmed. Mr. Harker, freed from possession, dies instantly, his body drained by the grabber's spirit. The curse seems broken. Weeks later, the town begins to heal. Gwen and Lena share a quiet moment at the cemetery, placing flowers for the lost children. Gwen whispers, "You're free now." Just as the film seems to end, we cut to a junkyard. A worker picks up a piece of the shattered black phone from the rubble. It hums faintly. He curiously puts it to his ear. A soft child's whisper says, "Hello."